Uwe Boll is a German filmmaker born in 1965. He in a supporting role, ironically as a tipster, in his first feature, where he reads directly from the script, which he usually writes for his projects, but obviously can't even remember his own nonsense, and is also the producer. Before he made his US debut in 2000, see the same named special, he realized 4 projects in Germany, the first 2 in collaboration with Frank Lustig as co-director, writer, producer.
To face up to the facts, I'm tense and nervous and I can't relax. Can't sleep cause my bed's on fire. Don't touch me, I'm a real live wire.
In 1992, German fried movie short GFM is set, according to a narrator who desperately tries to be funny, in the distant future of 2004. In the hour-and-a-half-long sketch parade in style of the 1977 classic Kentucky Fried Movie, see also the John Landis retrospective, from which the idea, the title, some characters and scenes, and even the movie poster were blandly stolen, someone as a frame story watches wacky TV shows that reflect the end of society. At the lowest level of corny humor, you see unpleasant hospital stays of patients with public health insurance, game show parodies, shows like Suicide in Front of the Camera, the soap opera, terror comedy, shows the lives of RAF members, etc. There is no real plot. The quality of the collection of short episodes, which ran mostly far too long, with lots of unbearable sex jokes for retards, is on par with a school play. However, as luck would have it, I, aged 20, at practically the same time, 1991 to 93, during my apprenticeship, made within a year and a half, with family, friends and people in my village, about 60 miles away from Boll's filming locations, a 35-minute no-budget movie led by myself. A Terminator parody called Tape, with a sequel and a third movie the following year. With very similar qualities, or rather a complete lack of thereof. Unlike GFM, there is hardly any dialogue and a continuous plot about a handsome postman unintentionally repeatedly gets caught in the crossfire of rival organizations that constantly send each other dangerous packages.
Psycho killer, qu'est-ce que c'est? Better run, 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 run away. Oh, psycho killer, qu'est-ce que c'est? Better run, 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 run away. Oh,
in the 1993 political thriller Barschel, Murder in Geneva, an unsuccessful filmmaker, probably a bold self-insert, tries to convince a producer to fund his movie about the possible murder of former Prime Minister Uwe Barschel. who was found dead in a Swiss hotel in 1987 by employees of Stern, German for star, which strangely staged-looking black and white photo made the rounds in all the media at the time. The consumer product Stern, which some mistakenly associate with journalism, is the same for me satirical magazine that in 1983 published the even to the blind obviously fake Hitler diaries. I can still remember when they appeared on the magazine rack, we couldn't stop laughing, where not even Adolf's initials were correct. It actually said FH. Stern is here for many, similar to other conformist opinion monopolists and prostitutes, the epitome of propaganda, disinformation and lying press, aka mainstream media. In the movie, director, producer and assistant discuss Barschel's alleged suicide, point out inconsistencies and reconstruct his last hours. Fearing that it would attract the attention of the possible murderers, the producer ultimately decides against financing the project.
I passed out hours ago. I'm sadder than you'll ever know. I close my eyes on this sunny day. Say something once, why say it again?
Boll's first real movie, significantly better than GFM, but still far from good, in the form of a chamber play, received rightly consistently negative reviews. Even though his approach is quite promising, it ultimately fails due to the amateurish staging. There is zero suspense. It consists almost entirely of stupid talk combined with embarrassing so-called acting and a clearly visible lack of budget, something like $0 or so. To add to his annoyance, which he vented in the story here as he did with GFM, Boll once again received no government film funding, which is absurd anyway and has turned practically all German movies into fucking government movies. By the way, Barschel's case, similar to JFK, again, Israeli connections, lost evidence, disappeared statements and witnesses, files sealed for decades, etc., has still not being fully solved, as solving is apparently not desired.
Psycho killer, qu'est-ce que c'est? Fa 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 better run, 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 run away.
The one-hour horror Amoklauf, translated Rampage, from 1994, shows a, for whatever reason, bitter waiter and has isolated from the outside world murderous fantasies. He develops an incomprehensible, abysmal hatred for other people. Watches endless reruns of quiz shows, okay, that explains a lot of course, I would go crazy too, and then finally moves on to gore. We also learn that he apparently, for whatever reason, killed his father. Or fantasizes about it, I have no idea. When he feels disturbed by his neighbor during jerking off, oh dear, he kills her. And according to the synopsis, now freed from all inhibitions, he goes on a rampage with a gun. The cheaply jerked out trash, despite its shortness, with lots of unnecessary slow motion and tons of foreign material, most of the time you watch someone watching video, rightly received mostly negative feedback, even if a few smart asses wanted to hallucinate something into it, who, much like Boll himself, just want to attract attention, which he once again failed to do with this meaningless, pointless bore.
Psycho killer, qu'est-ce que c'est? Fa 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 better run, 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 run away.
I also suspect that the indexing refers to the third-party material, some of it even hardcore porn. The free version is only 52 minutes long. The 1997 comedy The First Semester is about Andreas Schimmer, German for clue, which is funny because he doesn't have any clue. A broke student whose grandfather unexpectedly offers to give him a pile of money if he can complete 2 semesters and find a steady girlfriend. So he sets to work, unaware that his stepfather, who is after the money, is sabotaging him by secretly hiring his roommate to get him lose the bet. While he tries in vain to get together with Leah, Momo actress Radost Bokel, he completely ignores Marley's sincere advances.
Psycho killer, qu'est-ce que c'est? Run, run,
Boll's last German production before Hollywood is basically his first normal movie, conceived by a 6-year-old. Approved for ages 6 and up. It even features some actors and celebrities who were presumably well known at the time. I don't know any of them except for Momo, which sucks like the rest, as I haven't watched TV since the 90s, since it already sucked back then. And I take the words German and comedy in the same sentence, actually a clear violation of the Geneva Convention, as a serious threat. The unoriginal Crapfest also received entirely justified negative feedback across the board. At least from those, for professional reasons I assume, who had to watch it. Since it's a cheap cliché parade, extremely poorly made, much of it seems improvised or like the first take, with completely exaggerated characters like the protagonist's overly stupid behavior, which gets old very fast, and an artificial plot so badly slapped together that it almost hurts.